If you thought the CEO for Bungie was bad, just wait until you meet the CEO of this gaming company. Right now, Randy Pitchford is top trending within Twitter because of his controversial takes, his unhinged replies to things. Now, Randy is no noob to controversies here. He does this on the regular. This has kind of just become his persona in general, but this time he has rubbed the Borderlands 4 community the wrong way because they are announcing a price hike and they're not doing so in a very genuine way. Now, before we jump into that, he's actually retweeting this post right here, which is from Devolver Digital, all right? And what they're saying in this is you're going to be able to buy a game called Mycopunk for you and 3 of your friends for the price of 1 copy of Borderlands 4. So what they're getting at is that there's this game. It looks kind of like a copycat of Borderlands. It has a similar aesthetic, a similar art style, you know, and it's first person, etc. And the cost of this game, you'll be able to buy it for yourself and 3 friends. So it'll be 4 times cheaper than Borderlands. So it'll be about $20 to buy Mycopunk, and you'll be able to buy it for you and 3 friends. So Randy Pitchford, the CEO of Gearbox, all right, quote tweets this post right here and says, it's not even tagging him, it has nothing to do with him. He quote tweets it and says, Mycopunk is cheaper than a point of meth. So it's just like 1/10 of a gram of meth. So it's just a very tiny bit of meth. And he goes on to say, it probably has fewer side effects too. Needless to say, no one is very happy about that, all right? That is a pretty unhinged comment, especially coming from the CEO of a video game company. But honestly, it's Randy's world, and we're all just living in it. Because the day before, he was getting canceled for his comments about the price of Borderlands 4, saying that he is going to be following that Microsoft trend and hiking the price from $60 to $80. But don't worry, you'll find a way to pay for it. This individual goes on Twitter saying, Randy, in regards to Borderlands 4, this game better not be $80. Don't take that risk. A lot of gamers aren't going to pay $80 and feed this notion of constant increase of the price tag. You are the CEO. You have some say with the price when it comes to your publisher. Randy himself actually responds to this, all right? And he gets ratioed into oblivion here, but let's go through his response first. He goes, A, not my call, which, I mean, you're the CEO. You know, you can definitely... You have some power. You have some pull within the company when you're the freaking CEO of it, right? He goes on to then say, B, if you're a real fan, oh, this is where people get mad. You'll find a way to make it happen. My local game store had Starflight for Sega Genesis for $80 in 1991. Now that's a throwback. When I was just out of high school, working minimum wage at an ice cream parlor in Pismo Beach, and I found a way to make it happen. So Randy was able to make it happen. He was able to, you know, put together $80 to buy the Sega Genesis, Starflight for Sega Genesis. So you too can make it happen. Now, this has rubbed people so in such a wrong way that it literally has, it's ratioed 3.6 thousand comments to 500 likes and about 2,000 reposts, right? People quote tweeting it saying this is terrible. And the reason why is because if you're gonna give that price hike, right? If you're gonna increase the price of Borderlands 4, at least give some reasoning as like, hey, we worked a lot harder on this one, we made it a little bit bigger, more expansive, and it will definitely be worth the added investment. You know, we are putting in added work to compensate for the price increase, right? This would still not land perfectly with gamers right now because we're not really happy about a price hike. A lot of these gaming studios post-COVID have become so desperate for money now. After all of the cash cow, all of the cash flow hasn't been coming in as much from all that COVID money, that they have been squeezing every single penny out of the gamers right now. We have season passes, we have paid cosmetics, paid DLCs, you name it. Bungie's obviously guilty of doing this in so many different ways. They literally have a freaking, you have to pay for the dungeons on top of everything, right? It's ridiculous. These companies are desperate for money, and their greed has gotten to such a ridiculous level that charging you now $80 for the game means nothing to them. In fact, they say, you'll find a way, you'll figure it out. And obviously, you know, even though, I mean, he is creating kind of a fair argument that he did pay $80 back then, there's also just a lot more games nowadays. You know, the ability to play games, consoles, platforms is quite expensive. There's also like a subscription fee. If you're playing on console, you have to pay PlayStation Plus or Xbox Live all of that. And not to mention, like we said before, all of the microtransactions and everything that these games try to do to squeeze every single penny out of you. And we as gamers, we are not stupid. We are very well aware that we are being treated like a product, like a consumer, and that we can be manipulated because we enjoy these games and we're willing to pay more for them. So people absolutely hated this, and they were roasting Randy up and down. You could go through all the replies. It's brutal, but I wanted to bring you a video talking about this because this has become quite a hot topic, which is a price hike increase in video games going from $60 to $80. Will you accept that? Will you be buying $80 video games in the future? I'll be interested to see your comments down below. And how do you feel about Borderlands 4? And our guy, Randy here, how do you feel about his opinions on things? He's obviously an absolutely wacky guy on social media, all the crazy things he's done in the past. I mean, I'm not even going to go through all of it because it is just absurd. I mean, this guy has a crazy reputation within the gaming sphere. But honestly, it's good content. So hopefully Randy keeps tweeting out because this is some interesting content right here. Again, make sure you're subscribed to the channel with notifications on. Smash the like button. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Later.